So, lads, Lexie Hull has not been practicing with the Indiana Fever, and that is, I don't think it's a concern. In my opinion, it's not a concern because I think that the Indiana Fever are going to be fine, and I don't think that she's going to practice for the rest of the year. Like, I genuinely do not think that Lexie Hull will practice between now and the end of the season, whenever they get knocked out. Even if they get to the finals, I don't think she's going to practice. But at this stage of the year, it does not matter. She's going to do the walkthroughs. She is going to do walkthroughs. She's going to, she'll be fine. She'll be absolutely fine. She's going to walk through. She's going to get a couple of shots up and, in practice, warm up and go and play. But Steph Wyatt has been talking about Lexie Hull, basically saying she's being ruled out for precautionary reasons. And I think that's fair. I think that's fair. A fair thing to do, because I think people are kind of worried about Lexie Hull. But back injuries are one of those weird things where you can, like it says here, she anticipates Lexie being ready. Lexie's going to be fine. Lexie's going to be fine. It's one of those, it looks like it's one of those overuse injuries. She did not look in any way off when she was on the court. And you can see here so far from Tony East, in the portion of practice, we've been able to see Lexie Hull hasn't done much, watching and wearing a brace. We'll hear more about official status soon. I'm guessing she went through walkthroughs of plays. She went through the game plan. But look, if Lexie Hull's back is going to let her play 45 minutes of basketball total in 3 or 4 days, those minutes will be on the court. I don't foresee Lexie Hull practicing with the team for the rest of the year. I don't think the Indiana Fever would let her play if she was actually hurt. If she was hurt, I don't think they would let her play. Straight up. I think if she was, we've seen it with Caitlin Clark. Lexie Hull's not Caitlin Clark level of importance to this team, but to say Lexie Hull's not going to be a long-term player, for nothing else, that Lexie Hull does all of the little things. Lexie does all of the little things that you want a team to do. She absolutely wants to do all of the little things. She does all the little things. It's hard to find the Lexie Hull out there. And that's one of those things where I think a lot of people they're kind of, when it comes to Lexie, being like, you know what, she doesn't shoot the greatest percentage from 3. She doesn't really handle the ball. She's not a bad 3-point shooter. She doesn't shoot at all good from 2. She has no floater. She's not good at taking layups. But Lexie Hull is kind of all intangibles. And she is a defensive playmaker. She's not a defensive stopper. She's a defensive playmaker. She is not, if you are an isolation scorer, she's not gonna be one of the top 15, 20 defenders at getting a stop. But what she can do is she can draw 2 charges a game of an elite scorer and get them into foul trouble and they're gone. She can make 2 huge hustle plays as a weak side defender and get 2 big steals. And she makes defensive plays. She's not a stopper. And that's why people always tell me, and they're like, Lexie Hull's one of the best defenders in the league. And I'm like, Lexie Hull is a hustle player. She's not a stopper. There's a big difference. The Indiana Fever they need a stopper more than they need a hustle player in their starting 5. And I don't think Sophie Cunningham is necessarily a stopper either. I think Sophie Cunningham's a container. Sophie Cunningham, what Sophie does is she backs off. But if you're able to create in any way and create separation for that midi or a 3, Sophie Cunningham can't guard you. She's very, Sophie's disciplined. Lexie is not going to, both of them are disciplined. They're not going to fucking leave you. So they are key. They're very much, she's a key player for the Fever. And look, the Indiana Fever need Lexie Hull to shoot 40% from 3. The problem is that I do think that the Aces are going to try to make Lexie Hull beat them. And I don't know if Lexie Hull has it in her to win this game. And that's not a knock on Lexie Hull. Lexie Hull has never been the player. And I don't think when it comes to the Indiana Fever, they have they don't have that kind of third star scorer right now. Whereas Lexie hold, like, you can stop 2 scores. It's hard to stop 3. Very hard to stop 4. But, like, they've kind of neutralized Howard a bit in that last game tactically. And I do think that it's going to be a really, really tough one in this game. But I think Lexie Hull's so important for this Fever team. And I think she'll be okay. She's tough. At the end of the day, it's the playoffs. I don't think she'll be playing if this is the regular season, obviously. And I think that as the game goes on, we'll see. She doesn't look, I don't think it'll affect her too much on the floor. It's probably going to hurt like fuck when she's off the floor. But if it's just back issues and it's not like a back injury, like, look, if this is an injury, she shouldn't be playing. But if it's just back pain, if it's spasming, if it's back pain coming from something else, you would normally take a couple of days off and try to, fix it. However, I don't think that's something that that's an issue. But at the end of the day, it's it is what it is. The Fever, nothing's ever going to be easy for the Fever. The Fever are going to have injuries. Dantas is freaking ruled out, and I'll talk about what that means because Dantas was going to be fucking key. Like, the scariest thing is that as bad as like Dantas has been this season, she's still a threat. She's still a threat. And just like what the Atlanta Dream tried to do in the regular season when they just did not guard Natasha Howard, they were willing to let Natasha Howard beat them. Like in the playoffs, Kelsey Mitchell did Kelsey Mitchell things. The team just played incredibly in Game 3. But that's kind of the game plan. That's the game plan, is to double up on Kelsey Mitchell. So it's going to be a really, really tough game. And shout out Lexie Hull, fucking warrior though, a warrior. Like, she is without question one of those players that deserves every bit of the like money that she's getting off the court. And I hope for her sake that she makes so much money off the court that she's willing to take a little bit of a pay cut in Indiana so that we can, surround pieces to get a championship team. But I could see a Chicago Sky type team, a team that like needs a culture reset. I could see there a lot of teams with cap space offering her near max money, because are a short term near max money, because the hustle that Lexie Hull brings is hard to find. It's really, really hard to find. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. I'll see you guys.